guys?
Coach.
Another inspiring day. We're not perfect on some things, but man, I liked our boards today. That may have been the best boards we've had since I've been here. Guys jumping in there, taking reps. If a guy got beat, instead of going and cowling down, he jumped. I want to go again. A lot of great energy and passion in what we're doing. Young guys are really developing. I say young guys, heck, that's the whole team. We're a young team, but I really like the energy level. Got guys hungry to be where they're at. Execution is much farther along than I thought it would be. And even when mistakes are made, can look you in the eye and tell you why they made a mistake, which is extremely encouraging, because there's going to be mistakes. But from that avenue of things, I really like what I'm seeing. I really do. And like I say, we're a work in progress with some of those young skill guys. Boy, you see it on offense, on defense, those young linemen on both sides, backer, all that stuff. I'm really encouraged by some things I see. Questions?
You talk about the boards.
I'm sorry?
When you talk about the boards and how good they were, what do you attribute when it's better than when it's not better? Like, what brings that out?
The passion. You got football is you got to want to put your face in the middle of somebody. You got to want to shoot your hand. You got to like contact. You got to like to be physical. You know what I mean? And when you get beat, instead of I got beat, jump back up there and say, and because in football you're going to get blocked, or you're going to get beat, or you're going to whatever. But just the energy and the tenacity and the energy coming off the contact, the physicality, I really like it.
And usually other guys respond to that.
Exactly, and it's feeding off each other. And I'm gonna tell you what, I like the chemistry of this football team. That's what, I worry about. I'm liking what I see chemistry-wise so far.
Why do you think the energy has been at such a high level this early on?
Well, I think you got a lot of young guys that are hungry for positions. They got opportunities, and they know that we've got a legacy around there of how we play and what the level in which we have to play to. And they know that, and there's an urgency to them, and they're doing it.
Replacing your almost your entire offensive line. What have you seen from those guys?
Same thing. There's some mistakes in there, but there's some really good things. There's some talented players in there, and just getting more consistent. But guys that are willing to learn, take coaching, and whatever you say, they do.
Trickett is, before practice, he was out here with the group. They're getting some reps in now. How important is it for him to just get some time to lay the foundation down?
You do, and you can't get enough of that. If taking a step, taking a jab step, putting your hat, shooting your hand, you just got to do it to where it's so second nature, and that just only comes with reps.
Have you ever seen another coach at the coach offensive line really line up players, make sure their shoulders are square, make sure feet are?
Oh yeah, I have, but he's as good as there is in the business. He does as good a job as anybody around ever. I've been around. He's a tremendous football coach. Always has been.
Jimbo, is that a position where if you had your druthers, you'd like to have your starting five just so they could work together in the off season? Starting five?
You can, but you say that, but then you have injuries so much. It's good to intermingle too at the same time. When we get through, we'll have an idea of who most of those guys are.
What are some things you've seen from Alec Eberle at center?
Knowledge of making calls, getting more consistent on his calls, because he's like the quarterback on run play. You got to make the calls, the mic calls to get guys. All right, once he makes the call, then that tells everybody who to block. You know what I mean? And from that standpoint, and he's a very tough guy. He's a hard worker.
Coach, is there anything out of the first week of spring that you feel like the team still needs to improve on that's going into next week?
Everything. I'm saying all that, but we got to get better. Don't get me wrong. But man, I'm really like where we're at. I really do.
How's the quarterback competition coming along?
I thought Sean had another good day. I thought really understanding blitz pickup, understanding where his protections are, getting guys in the right thing, getting the ball out quickly when pressured, getting the ball, and the receivers are seeing it too. And for a young group of receivers, which has really got me excited. Tight ends too, backs. From that standpoint, I think he's done a nice job. I thought DeAndre Johnson had a really nice day today. Does a lot of things very instinctively, man. I think that guy's going to be a really good player. When I had JJ and John, they responded well. We split the fields up. Randy had those two on the other field as we go, but they've had good progress. And energy and make mistakes, what you're going to have, but then, okay, I understand why, come back and tell you why, and then go on.
Wednesday you talked about how pleased you were with the early enrollees. Is that still the case?
Yes, you ain't lying. Pads are better. I like them better than pads. I do shorts. There's some big, strong guys in there.
What have you seen from Ryan Green over at
a great attitude to learn and tremendous ability. Can close, can run, got ball skills. He's going to be a good player.
How's Mario Pender coming along?
Good. But Mario's running the ball really well. I'm very pleased where he's at.
The 100%?
Yeah, pretty much so. His ankle, I'd say he's probably 90, 95. He's still got a little twinge in it, but him at 90, 95 when he's healthy, or that close, is still better than most guys around.
Was it maybe a surprise that how much that ankle kind of lingered?
No, because he hurt it again.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it wasn't from that. He hurt it again. He was doing his drills and he hurt it again.
How quickly is Patrick picking things up?
Learns very well. That big body, he runs natural, sees cuts, makes natural cuts, and that's a big load when you come through there now.
What does he give you that maybe you don't get by the other backs just because of his size?
Tremendous size, but I'm telling you what he has now, great hands. Not good hands, great hands. And can open that back hip when the ball's behind him, catch radius, and then you got a big guy when you're blitzing now. You're putting a 238-pound guy picking up a blitzer. That can keep that pocket wide. People don't realize about that when we have big backs. It really expands that pocket because they don't get knocked back as much.
Can you think of any freshman running backs you've had that were his size? Or?
Oh yeah, I've had some in the past. LSU guys have that size.
Jimbo, Lawrence said, looking ahead to the spring, that this is going to be a different spring for him because not just Rashad, but Scooter, Christian, older guys, and this would be a different kind of spring. How have those guys, like learning and things like that?
Have done a great job. I keep saying great things, but I like this team. I'm telling you, I like their attitude and there's an urgency to do it. You know what I'm saying? And you sense it. Because when you're around, it's like when you're around somebody and their energy's high, you can tell when a guy's, whatever it is, I don't care what job he's doing. And they're like that, and they're learning very well. They're doing a good job. You can tell they spend a lot of time in the off season studying and doing that.
What have you seen from the tight end position, placing Nick?
A lot of ability. Izzo, Kerr, Maven, those guys are really doing a real nice job. I mean, big bodies that can run. I mean, you can athletic, and now their wingspan and catch radius on those guys. I mean, they're all long arm, big guys, bodies, and very athletic and understand, got good ball skills, and becoming much more physical, blocking very good. That group's got me excited, tight end group.
Specifically to Maven, how is his blocking?
The best day he ever had today. He made 2 or 3 blocks here that he had. I mean, I'm talking about, because he's so athletic. When he rolls those hips and he gets that big 260-pound body on you now, and the way he runs, I mean, it's power. I mean, he made 2 or 3 big-time blocks today, as I think Izzo and Kerr have done too. But Maven has really come along in the contact part of the game.
He hasn't really played football that long, but he's got a good steep learning curve to pick things up.
And I'm going to tell you what else he's got. He's got a great attitude. It means something. It bothers him to make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? So he takes pride in what he does.
Does it help the rest of the linebackers have Terrence Smith out there today?
Yeah, it does. I mean, getting him, we'll limit him at certain times, but he's out there for most of the stuff and gets his knowledge and experience.
Reggie Northrup seems like he's pretty engaged.
Very. And his rehab, he's ahead of schedule. He's rehabbing very well. I mean, and hopefully he'll continue that way. But just like his leadership and his presence out here, he's done a real nice job. You feel him as a senior.
Is there a chance he could be back for?
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. Could be. Yes.
Where have you seen the most progress from JJ as far as his development?
Just knowledge of where to go with the ball. That's what I say. It's hard for a quarterback. I say it's like driving in a neighborhood you're lost. You know what I mean? If you don't know the directions, and of course you can't ever show your abilities. But his knowledge of what's going on now, making much better throws. Where to go with the ball consistently.